There they go into the back. The blue light on. We have a race, and Satnova's beaten Pure Steel out by a length and a half.
Welcome to Talking Trots, hosted by Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
The sensational Sydney sider, Seals to Sam, comes off the back straight. He's a bucket load of alliteration, this fellow.
Scott Bomber Hill will join the boys to look at the Friday night meeting at Gloucester Park, and Hayden King will find the winners for the weekend's racing.
Here comes Quinny. I'm the mighty Queen is 4 deep and letting go.
Sit back and enjoy Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
I'm the mighty Queen is just in front. Dasher VC can do no more. And the West Australian champion has done it again.
Hello and welcome to Talking Trots for another week here on Tab Radio. Hayden King with you this week alongside Glen Mortimer. We'll get to Morts in a second because Michael Radley's out of action. Not sure what the reasoning is, Morts, but I'm glad to have you by my side. How are you?
Evening, Hayden. Great to be back after a short let up myself. Thank you for joining me this evening. No Michael Radley. I think he's gone out to the paddock for a week or so. Might have pulled up lame after last Thursday's show. It was a good show and a big weekend on the punt with our man Bomber. 7-unit win last Friday night for Bomber. Near miss for Hayden, just the one, which was a Torrevian Amy running second on Tuesday. Great night of racing last Friday night at Gloucester Park. Soho Seraphine from the 8 straight to the front, and that was that. Very impressive winner. We'll see her go around again tomorrow night. Faster Than Dad from the 9. Thank you very much. Part of a double there for Stewie Mack. Great win. Solid win, Tenzing Bromack, and a very good first up effort, I thought, from Penny Tiger. Think we can expect some improvement off that solid run. Armchair Drive for Denny Roberts and her first Group 1. Never in danger at any stage. So congratulations to Denny. What a crazy price.
Vegas Strip?
Yeah, crazy price.
When you backed it about 4 months ago?
Yes. No, it was an absolutely Armchair Drive. Brilliant to see Denny finally get that first Group 1. My Prayer got a good through run at the bell after Who's the Dad came off the fence and then was able to come off the fence near the Ven with a well-timed run and got the money. Nice drive. Stewie McDonald on cloud 9, popped off the fence with a lap to go and was always going to be dangerous. And strong win by Naze Vera, driven by Dylan Edgerton Green, to round out the night on Friday night. Gloucester Park Friday night, a training double to tonight's guest, Greg and Sky Bond. 3 winners for Junior, 2 for Stewie Mack, and a treble for Denny, including that first Group 1, which was brilliant. Narrogin, training double to Shane Young, driving double to Shane Young, driving double to Aldo Cortopassi. Pinjarra Monday, driving double to Mitchell Miller and a driving double to Denny Roberts. And Tuesday at Gloucester Park, training double to Gary Hall Senior, a driving treble to Junior and a driving double to Hayden. And just a note, Hayden, because I thought you would like this, the first 5 races at Narrogin were all trainer drivers.
Oh, okay.
The wins, there we go. So thought you'd appreciate that.
I do appreciate it.
Excellent.
Morts. Yeah, and just on one of the horses you touched on, Soho Seraphine, she came up an outright favourite, around $1.33, I think, to win the Oaks on Friday, is out to black odds now. So there's been a real adjustment in that market. We'll touch on that later on.
$1.33 was a bit short.
Very short.
Yes.
And August Moon came up very lucrative odds. I'm told $8 was bet some places, $6.50 tab touch. So
wow,
someone was very hot on their hands there. And when you mentioned Denny as a potential guest tonight, I thought we better not, because she's actually been a bit under the weather the last week or so, and she hasn't had much voice. So she'll never get it back if we ramble on to her for too long tonight. But
wasn't it great to see her get her first? So I can't believe it's taken so long. She deserves it so much. She's been a fantastic driver.
I think the one thing that people might not recognise about Denny, and the one thing that stands out about her to me, is her work ethic and her competitiveness. She is a real grafter. She works her guts out and tries her guts out, anything she does. So if anyone does deserve it as a reward for effort, it is Denny. And
and the one thing I like about her is she can lead. She can rate them well in the breeze, or she can thread away through the field and get them up. She's not a one-trick pony. She's very talented.
Indeed. However, we've got the next best thing, or a very able substitute tonight, with our guest Greg Bond, and he was the part of the training partnership that took out last week's feature with Vegas Strip. Here's the concluding stages.
3 wide, brought to lighter on the inside, but the leader looks to be bolting, and back behind them, Armour Believer in the straight though, and Vegas Strip is nicely clear from the Little Master. Grand Coteau the outside, trying to get through on the inside, brought to light, and also Grievous late, but in front Vegas Strip. The favourite does it easily, and Vegas Strip races home to win the slipper. Vegas Strip and Denny Roberts has got a Group 1 and won nicely. Second home is brought.
A real red letter day for Denny there, and Greg, it must have given you so much delight, as I say hello to you, to see Denny achieve that maiden Group 1 success.
Yeah, g'day guys. Both Sky and myself, we were really rapt for her. She's probably one thing that she was chasing. She went within a whisker of winning a Fremantle Cup for us a year and a half ago, and anyway, she stepped up to the plate, and everything panned out good in that race for us, and she kept her composure all the way through and got the job done. So very happy for her.
Looks like a very, very smart type, does Vegas Strip Bondi, and we were fortunate enough we identified it a few months ago, and you could see that this was going to be, potentially the grand final for this preparation. Outstanding effort.
Yeah, look, that was the sort of race we targeted him because he wasn't eligible for the other races, so he hadn't raced for 3 weeks prior to Friday. But probably a couple of things fell away. Obviously, Menenchar wasn't in the race, and he would have really been the testing material had he been in there, and obviously Wave Rider wasn't there as well. So a couple of things went our way, but we have a really high opinion of the horse, and expect him to have a real good career moving forward over the next 2 years or so.
And out for a spell now, or going to push on?
No. He's already down the road. We thought about maybe another run, but really he'd done enough, and he shows all the signs of having a lot of bottom to him and a great future. So we thought we'd reward him for a good effort and let him put his head on the grass for a good probably 6 weeks, I would think.
Very good. Well, you've got a Group 1 golden slipper to show for that one. And at recent years, you've been at we've seen you out there at the sales ring, and you've been buying some nice horses, particularly over the last couple of years. Obviously looking to target a lot of these rich 2- and 3-year-old races, Bondi. Yeah, well, as you know, Morts, the Westbred money's gone up, and between the sales race and the Pearl and Diamond, and of course the Westbred Classics, and then the slipper, there's 7 $100 and better $1,000 races for 2-year-olds. So the numbers stack up, and they say you really should be, you should have a portion of your stable heading to them. So we've taken that line, and hopefully we'll do it again this year, and hopefully we'll be rewarded with a bit of success as we've had this year.
What kind of horse has Vegas Strip been for you in the time you've had him, Greg? Has he always been a horse that you've had a reasonable opinion of and thought he might be special?
Oh, yeah, we liked him in New Zealand. He's full brother to Double Up, a horse that we had over here that went through to free-for-all for us. And we'd sort of put a hand up on him. We'd done a bit of business with the owner breeders in the past, and he actually... Les and his wife kept 20% of this bloke when we bought him, but he'd shown enough at trials over there, and the first day, I think Denny might have driven him the first day, we hobbled him, and she come off and said, yep, he's good. So, he franked what we thought of him, and he's rewarded us with a slipper last Friday.
Yeah, I remember watching one of the earlier runs of Vegas Strip, and I think I made the comment on the show that I thought Denny was like a statue that day. She just did not move a muscle, and this horse just did it well within himself. So he looks like a really nice type, and it's going to be great to see him come back from that spell and push on as a 3-year-old and be extremely competitive, you would think, in those races, Bondi, and then you'll be back to the sales, so there'll just be more and more coming through. That's what it's all about.
Oh, well, you got to keep throwing darts, don't we, Morts? And hopefully we hit a bullseye every now and then.
Must have been very happy with the win of Tenzing Bromac last Friday night.
Yeah, good. Yeah, he hadn't raced for about 5 weeks, but that was by design. Most of the free-for-alls we didn't tip them out, but we just backed off them and for a few weeks. And yeah, very happy with him. He sort of did it comfortably. It probably didn't look as impressive as what he might have been, but it probably wasn't his quite racing pattern. Denny was holding him back to Prince of Pleasure, and obviously he had to get going when Penny Tiger come late. But very happy where he's at. Looking forward to obviously the lead-up races to the Pacing Cup and the Pacing Cup with him. I'm quite optimistic that he's going to be very, very competitive in all those races.
He certainly seems to be underrated by some. I think he's got a great future in front of him. But you get the same feeling. He seems underrated, but he just keeps delivering every time he goes out.
Yeah, well, his record's it's a good horse record, and we brought him over, and we actually really liked him when we got him. But he had an ailment that none of the vets could put their finger on. We lost him sort of for probably 12 months there, and it just sorted itself out, and he's just gone from strength to strength. So he's only had 30 odd race starts now, and but yeah, he's just a bit of a no nonsense. He's not a flashy horse, but he just gets the job done. He's got a great will to win, great depth to him. Probably the only chink he possibly has is he might lack a tad amount of high speed. But he makes that up for in his will to win and his depth. So he just no nonsense horse. Morts gets the job done, doesn't he?
Yeah, he certainly does.
Yeah, and often when you get those horses that travel and they do get sick, sometimes you just never get them back. So it's really great that he's in the form that he's in at the moment. I was reading an article the other day, Greg, where you said you think he's as good as any horse we've got going around here in WA at the moment. Do you see him as your top seed heading into those big races then?
I've sort of formed that opinion, and when I say I think he's up to the best here, I'll probably put never end into one side there, of course, but I'm talking, the free-for-allers that we've got here. I've got no doubt he's pound for pound, he's right up with any other free-for-aller in WA at the minute, and I'm hoping my judgment's right, and I'm hoping he'll show that in the next 6 weeks. But yeah, no, we have a high opinion of the horse. He's just been a developing horse. He hasn't come on the scene and blazed his way through the grades. He's just got the job done, and there's a lot of bottom to him. And hopefully we can utilise that strength to pinch one of these good races coming up.
I got no doubt you will, because Bondi, I was having a look on the website earlier on today, and your career win rate is 32%, which is just absolutely astonishing. Sorry, that's the season win rate, and your career win rate is 25%, which is just amazing that 1 in every 4 you come back to salute on. And tomorrow night, you've got a chance you may do that on a few occasions, and that kicks off in race number 3. You've got the old-timer there, Vampiro. He was great last start. He really hit the line very well. Draw hasn't been very kind to him, though, drawing out 9, but a little bit of speed on in the race. Do you give him some chance from out there?
Oh, yeah, we just haven't. His run's back now. He's working up nicely, and unfortunately we've continued to draw bad barriers, and by virtue of that fact, we haven't really utilised his speed off the arm. And tomorrow night looks a similar scenario with the horses drawn inside us, and we just have to wait and take our turn. But he's working good. He's worked up nice, and had he drawn a good barrier and a potentially leading barrier here, we would have been very buoyant about his chances. But he's definitely a horse when he draws a good barrier. He's definitely a horse that's going to bob up and win a race very shortly, I would have thought. It's just a matter of waiting our turn.
Yeah, especially in a field like that. I would have thought that sort of field would suit him down the ground, providing he gets a draw. But there is a bit of speed on the inside, so you never know. He might be steaming home at some stage, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, he made good ground from the back last start, so he doesn't have to lead to be winning. But from barrier 9, he's probably going to settle a long way back, and that's probably going to take any winning chances for him out of the equation, I would have thought.
Greg, race number 4, you've got a 3-pronged attack, headed by Minstrel, drawn the inside. Seems to do his best work when he can find the pegs. He can pace better when he gets those circumstances to suit, and that looks the opportunity he gets tomorrow night from 1. Yeah,
what you're saying there's right. He's really been a on-speed horse, and coming up with the 1 hole tomorrow night gives him his opportunity. I can't see that he's going to get crossed by anything there. He's quick off the arm, so from the 1 hole and over the 2500, it's a journey that he's performed very well, and he won a nugget from the breeze in good time, and obviously a Fremantle Cup. So it gives him a great opportunity tomorrow night to get back in the winner's circle and hopefully get his campaign right on track for the big races. So very buoyant about his chances, and he definitely our number 1 seed in that race from there.
He's certainly a very winnable race for him, that's for sure, and himself's been going along okay. Galactic Star has certainly showed some good glimpses of form this time in, but the draw hasn't helped him very much. Then on to the big one, the WA Oaks, sponsored by the Trots WA, the WA Oaks, Group 1 over 2,536 metres. Draws made it a little bit more interesting. August Moon off the front line there, no chance last week when they came home in 56 and was 3 wide. You've drawn the 12. Was a good win last start. Soho Seraphins in the race was fairly impressive last week, so should be a pretty competitive race.
Yeah, it sort of looks, depending on what Dylan does on Zephyr, if they're really happy with her, they might even look to hold up. That'd suit us, but otherwise, August Moon, you would think, would get a reasonably comfortable lead, and probably then Soho Zephyrine would probably go around and sit outside it. So as long as we're not too far back off that, I haven't put the white flag up by any stretch of the imagination. She's the journey won't bother her. She can do a bit of work if she has to, and she's trained on really, really well. Very happy with her at home. So the draw not ideal, but it might work out to be a good draw come the end of the race too, potentially.
I'll just go back quickly to the race before, if I can, Greg. Himself is drawn gate number 2. Obviously, there's no back line there, but we know he can do work in his races. Do you have any set plan whether you'd like to see him sat up cold or sitting outside a horse like Minstrel in that race?
Look, I haven't actually given that a lot of thought. I'm probably comfortable with both scenarios, but I think, and as I said, I can't actually see anything getting around Minstrel, so we'll probably just hang out there just for 50 or 60 metres, just to assess and make sure that what's happening, and then I'll probably leave it with Dylan from there. It's probably not unrealistic to think he'd probably go the back of Minstrel, but I wouldn't tie Dylan's hands on that. The horse is going very well, and if he elected to stay off the fence for whatever his reasons are, I wouldn't have a problem with that. But leader's back's probably a likely option, but I wouldn't lock him into that.
Race number 6, you've got Lusaka. He couldn't really have done much more last start. Denny pursued a run to get through them early and then got shut out, had to go around to the breeze, and he was very brave in 156.9. You must have been impressed with that performance.
Yeah, very happy with his run. As you said, he got into a few little issues early, and to the horse's credit, he copped that on the chin, and then he had to get going and sat outside El Casanova, and I was very happy how he never gave it away 1 inch. So yeah, I thought again this was a winnable race for him. Obviously a Rockmeister, there's a little bit of speed inside us there, so But as we saw in the Golden Slipper last year, he ran third behind Never Ending, and he was 3 back the fence and ran on nicely. So again, he's not a horse that's just a one-trick pony. He doesn't have to lead to win. But yeah, he's working up great. Very, very happy with him at home. Obviously, he's heading towards a derby. This is a very winnable race for him, and yeah, I think he's definitely top 3 chance, and hopefully he'll be winning.
Very winnable, and so are the last 2 races that you're in as well. Bondi, race number 7, drawn the 3 with Karana, drawn to be very, very hard to beat, I would have thought, in that race.
Yeah, his stand-start form in New Zealand before he came over was pretty good, and he missed away first up for us in the stand, but the second start he stepped nicely. So, look, again, he waltzed away from them last start too, and did it with a degree of comfort. So, albeit in lesser grade, but again, another race that I can see him hopefully stepping well, and he's going to be. I would like to think if he stepped well and if he led, he'd win, and if he sits in the breeze, he's probably still going to give it a big shake as well.
Yeah, and then, of course, we finish it off in race number 10. One of yours has come out, which is a Golden Load. Still got the one on the fence. Then you came along, and out in number 7, the Little Master, who was absolutely fantastic last start, Bondi. Yeah,
wasn't he great in the slipper? He led the 3 wide line up from probably the 900, 950, and never gave it away, and only just missed out on running second. So he's going to be a real nice horse. Well, he's a real nice horse, and he'll continue to be that moving forward. And then you came along. He's working pretty good, actually. We sort of, Denny stuck with him because he just had made a couple of little breaks in races off the arm. Pretty confident we got that sorted out. His last run he came off the arm great and led and beat lesser grade. But I thought if he led, he's probably the one to beat out of our 2. But the Little Master's a real professional, and wouldn't surprise me to see him, get the job done either.
Could you see much pressure in the race, Greg? If he was able to lead, then you came along, he might be able to steal away with a bit there.
Yeah, well, no back line, but I mean, generally off the charts, gets off the arm good, and both R4 Major and Ideal Muscle, they're obviously can get off the arm good too. So, yeah, I would think if he did that, it might then potentially be a single file affair, Hayden, for a bit, and if it was, well, that's going to obviously help his chances no end. But it's nice to have 2 good horses in the race, because if it's run one way, it helps one. If it's not run that way, well, it might help the other one.
Certainly does. Okay, well, Glen's given me the motion that he's got nothing more to ask you, Greg, so you're out of the interrogation.
I think I've asked Bondi. Right. I think I've asked Bondi a lot, and he's been very open and honest with us as always, and I am sure has steered us into a couple of winners tomorrow night, because you've got a really, really nice book of horses in there, and of course we wish you all the very best in the WA Oaks tomorrow night, and hopefully it could be another Group 1 win for the stable, Bondi.
Yeah, well, it's a good habit to get into, Morts, as you well know, so we'll be doing our best.
Yeah, well, I'm dragging the team down here. Got a couple of no-hopers in my stable, so...
We've all had slow ones. We've all had slow ones, Hayden. Don't worry about that.
Got to start somewhere, I guess.
Yes, correct.
All right,
correct.
Thanks, Greg. Look forward to catching you there tomorrow night.
Yep, good on you guys. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Bondi.
That's Greg Bond, and really good to get his thoughts, particularly on those races where he's got a couple of representatives and we can map them out and sort the wheat out from the chaff, hopefully, Glen.
Yeah, look, I think he's always good, Bondi, always good with his time, but... he was very open with us there in that last one. He thought Then You Came Along was probably the right one out of those 2, and I think he might have found a couple of other ones which are in very winnable races. So hopefully we've steered the listeners into a couple of winners.
As we know, things can change during the race, though. Then You Came Along, speaking to Denny pre-race, she didn't really have any intention of leading, and then she just had to go with the horse when he got a bit fired up and he found the front and he was able to win. So anything can happen in those 2-year-old races, particularly with the types who can be unruly from time to time.
Yes, certainly can, but it was good to talk to Bondi and get, well, it's an amazing strike rate, isn't it? Season win rate of 32%.
So he's winning 1 in 3.
1 in 3 in town at Gloucester Park. We're not.
He's not messing around with the low-level stuff.
And career win rate of 25%. Amazing record they've got. Team Bond, that's for sure. They do, and it was good to see them at the yearling sales over the last couple of years, and they have been buying up some good horses. And then with what they bring across from New Zealand as well, they've certainly got a very strong team. No wonder they got a win career strike rate like that.
Yeah, I think Gary Hall Jr.'s win strike rate is around 24-25% as well, and we regard him as the preeminent force as a reinsman. You would say it's probably harder to establish that kind of percentage as a trainer, because you've got to have, 1, multiple representatives in a race. Correct. And 2, you can't pick and choose your horse, whereas Gary can sort of jump between.
Yep, no, it's a great record to have.
Indeed, it is.
For sure. Now, looking forward to the Oaks tomorrow night. I think it's going to be a cracking race.
And, well, just before we go to a break, Glenn.
Of course, this segment is brought to us by Bayswater Mazda. And as you know, because you've heard Michael and I talk about it all the time, Hayden, driving is better with Bayswater Mazda on the corner of Garrett Road and Guildford Road in Bayswater. Get out and see the team. They're at Bayswater Mazda. They've got the latest range of Mazdas, including the new CX-60. They've got a great range of used vehicles as well, and great service and great coffee. So get out and see the team there. I drive better in a Bayswater Mazda, Hayden.
Well done to you for doing that and making the right choice, Glenn. Okay, we're going to go to a break now, and it's the horse we touched on off the top. Soho Seraphine, a marked drifter in the betting early stages ahead of the Oaks, but last week so dominant, taking out the Sunday Times 3-year-old fillies pace.
Star 28-6 next quarter. Soho Seraphine bounds away and is home. Purist Copper battling on. Seagrass runs into third. Alexandra the Great and Jackie Daniels, and further back Flame Tree getting into the clear, but Soho Seraphine's going to bolt in. It's well clear over Purist Copper, Seagrass and Alexandra the Great, and Soho Seraphine won by 12 metres to Purist Copper. 10 metres away third Seagrass.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
Star Mia Culper trying to get on terms with Tenzing Bromac, and then Prince of Pleasure easing out in the straight. Tenzing Bromac from Mia Culper. Tenzing Bromac in front. Pity Tiger's going to fly late, really rocketing. Tenzing Bromac in front though, and Tenzing Bromac has won from Pity Tiger. Prince of Pleasure got third on the...
Yes, Tenzing Bromac, that horse we touched on with Greg just before, formulating a high estimation of him, and he's franking it with a success last week in the past President's Cup. Penny Tiger, the eye catcher.
I was going to say, what were your thoughts on Penny Tiger? Back off the gate, just settled on the fence, and when it saw a bit of daylight, sprinted very hard.
Yeah, I didn't account for that. I got that one wrong. I thought he'd be pinging and looking for the front, but straight back and finished with great gusto into second place, only beaten just over a metre there. So an encouraging sign for the preparation to come. And I think importantly, he was able to settle back in the pack. So he's not just a one-trick pony. I think that is the real win from that race last week, that he was amenable.
Yeah, I agree. When he first went back and parked on the fence and did settle nicely, and you could see coming to the turn he was still travelling really, really nicely. And when he got out and saw daylight, he sprinted, and I thought it was a good education for him. And he's got some bigger races coming up in front of him, so they would have been very, very happy with that result. Sprinted really hard, was good, and as we know, Tenzing Bromac's been going well, so was good form.
Indeed it was, and a man who had a very good night last Friday is Scott Bomber Hill. How are you, Bomber?
Yeah, very well, thanks, Hayden, and you?
Very well indeed, and hopefully we can go on with it. How confident are you tomorrow night?
Yeah, I've actually got three-unit bets, so yeah, there's no shortage of confidence. Hopefully we can do a similar thing to last week.
Bomber, I had to ask somebody if they'd give me a hand to carry my wallet last Friday night. It was that heavy after the 7-unit win. Thank you very much.
No worries. Hopefully that's a recurring theme.
That was probably from all your futures money on Vegas Strip as well. It was
that was, couldn't believe that.
an incredible night for you.
Yeah, no, that's good.
All right,
Let's,
so
continue on the good form, eh?
tomorrow night at Gloucester Park, we're going to start off with race number 2. It goes at 6:28, and they'll go 17:30 in the Trots WA on Twitter pace. Number 1, Dynamite Dolly, is 41. 2, Mr. Versace, 8.50. 3, Who's the Dad, 1.50. 4, Robbie Easton, 26. 5, Rock and Roll Sass, 8.50. 6, Rockaball at 7.50. 7, Mustang, $10. 8, Getting Wiggy with it, 26. 9, Disco Dynamo, 126. 10, Call Me What You Want, $10. And 11, Long Reach Bay, $12. Who do you like here, Bomber?
Yeah, I'm pretty keen. Who's the Daddy? He's tightened up pretty quickly from his opening price, but I think we can probably sit and wait, and he'll drift back out. The $1.50 too short, but
Yep.
I do think he'll drift back out. And I just thought this was his race. He comes out of harder races. He gets back to a race over the mile where he looks likely to be able to find the top, and I think he can take plenty of beating as a result. The last couple of times he's landed the front over the mile, he's ran 154 and change, and 5-Star General ran him over there once, and Hillview Bondi got off his back and beat him on the other occasion. But I don't think there's any of that sort of calibre of horse in this race, and I think he'll lead and win.
Yes, we're just going to need to be a little bit patient with the price there. Talking of prices, how was Long Reach Bay last start? Trained by the Duck, driven by Trent Wheeler, $126 winner. $12 in race 2, but race 2, number 3, Who's the Dad, Kevin Charles, Shannon Savelko, nobody better in front at Gloucester Park. Just waiting for a drift, Bomber, and what's the staking plan there?
Yeah, I think so, Morse. I think you get back out to around the $8 mark, and we can have a 3-unit bet at something like that.
Yeah, he'll definitely drift. I assure you of that. $1.50's ludicrously short. He did open 195, so we'll let Bomber off this time.
Yeah.
Race number...
I sort of marked him around that 180 mark. So.
Yeah, I thought he'd probably win, but he's not a horse that I'd be getting enthusiastic about backing too short, particularly with horses like Rockaball and Mustang in the race. He'll need to be on his game, and he gets the opportunity tomorrow night. Race 3 on the program is the Trots WA Owners Appreciation Conditioned Pace over 21.30. Number 1, Jasper Bella Beach, is 15. 2, Waterbro, $10. 3, Shalpatch, $1.65. 4, Valentine's Brook, $4.40. 5, What's Up Sunshine, $14. 6, Mr. Fantastic, $61. 7, Babyface Adder, $21. 8, Talks Up a Storm, $34. 9, Vampiro, $11. And a 10, Master Publisher, $9. Who wins this?
There's a bit more meat on the bone here with Valentine's Brook. He's low flying since resuming, and his effort last week to finish as close as he did was quite remarkable, running a 55.1 on the way home. Come 4 and 5 wide, and he wasn't entitled to finish as close as he did, I didn't think. And this is a race that he's probably the first one this campaign that he's got the opportunity to actually sit up on the pace. And we saw last campaign that certainly doesn't affect him at all. And I like the price. I think Chow Patch is probably too short. He doesn't seem to have a great deal of gate speed. I'm not sure where he ends up. And Valentine's Brook can be driven aggressively, I think.
Bomber, where do you see Valentine's Brook? Can you see Valentine's Brook getting across to the lead or getting parked out there in the breeze? Where do you think we get to?
I think most likely sits in the breeze, Morts, but as I said, that didn't seem to bother him last campaign. He was quite comfortable there and able to control the race, and hopefully he can do the same tomorrow night.
So who did you have leading then?
I thought Waterbro might cross.
Yep. Yeah, I thought he'd lead and give a pretty cheeky side as well. So there's been a lot of money for Shalpatch, $1.95 down to $1.65. I guess that probably means he'd be on your back then.
I think most likely, I mean, it'd be interesting to see. He hasn't shown any real gate speed in the West, but Valentine Brook can run the times even from the breeze, so I just think at the value he's the one.
Yes, certainly $1.65. Chalpatch is far too short. $10 Waterbro, which is a good each way price. But race number 3, horse number 4, Valentine's Brook, Jocelyn Young train, Jocelyn Young driving. What's our staking plan here, Bomber?
Yeah, hasn't run a bad race this campaign. I don't think that'll happen tomorrow night. So 2-unit bet at the nice sort of $4-5 mark.
Excellent. Very good. Very good. Now, we are going to go to a break,
Yes.
Hayden, but before we do, we are going to thank one of our very good sponsors. Now, some bloke who we didn't need last week is, who would that be? Who would we not have needed last Friday night?
I think it's SS, and I'm not talking about Shannon Savalco.
No.
Steve Sell.
Steve Sell, the Nude Nut. Loans 1, 2, 3, car loans, personal loans, travel, commercial loans. Who do you see?
Steve Sell.
The Nude Nut. Loans 1, 2, 3. Call Steve Sell on
1-800 100 100.
Still doing things the banks can't, that's for sure. Our good man Stevie Sell, redundant last Friday night, and hopefully we don't need him this Friday night either.
There's another SS going around as well tomorrow night, and we're going to talk about that horse in the next segment. But before we do, we're going to go back to last week, and this was the first leg of Stewie McDonald's double when he guided home Faster Than Dad with an electric turn of foot for Michael George to get the money.
Faster Than Dad has swept up on the outside and is looking really strong. Talks Up a Storm, got horribly held up. Rock and Roll Elliott looks like running into a place on the outside, but Faster Than Dad's going to walk in. It's going to bolt up. It's well clear. In second place, Rock and Roll Elliott, then Simply Shaz and Trooping the Colour of Mr. Versace, but Faster Than Dad won by about 17 metres to Rock and Roll Elliott. 3.5 metres away, third.
You are listening to Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley.
Is coming to the outside and then high price. Cloud9's in front. Belezanira down the outside, but Cloud9's got the lead. Belezanira's trying to chop it down. Cloud9's in front though, holding Belezanira at bay. Cooper goes to third, but Cloud9 comes on. Beautiful drive, McDonald beat home Belezanira. Third home was Cooper.
That was the second leg of the McDouble when Cloud9, this time trained by Stewie McDonald, able to be guided into the clear, a lap out onto the back of High Price, who was emptying out after doing all the dirty work in the breeze, finishing strongly and holding off Belezanira. They gapped the rest of the pack. I think he might have pulled up a little bit sore, Cloud9, so hopefully he's okay after that performance. Belezanira goes around tomorrow night, Glen, and according to the market, will be one of the leading chances.
Well, there we go. Is that the case? I can't find it, but I'm going to take your word on it, Hayden.
Okay.
Definitely.
Right. Well, we're going to continue on this preview of Gloucester Park. Race number 4 is where we're going next. The westerntrilogy.com.au free-for-all pace over the 25.36. And a number 1 Minstrel is $1.75. 2 Himself, $2.75. 3 Mighty Ronaldo, $7. 4 Armour Einstein, $126. 5 Galactic Star, $51. 6 Diego, $10. 7 Jumping Jack Max, $7. 8 Sangue Real at $126, and 9 Blitzen by also $126. We had Greg Bond on earlier, Bomber, and he indicated that Minstrel would be trying to attempt an all-the-way win and looked his top seed in the race. Do you agree there?
Yeah, fully. Hayden, he just gets a rare chance to lead here, and I think that's going to make him mighty hard to beat. I thought there was every chance Himself might just jump straight on his back to prevent Ronaldo getting that position, and as a result of that, there looks to be zero pressure. But even if Himself does breathe, then they won't be breaking records, so he'll still get his chance in front. He was a pass mark first up, I thought, but they ran home in 56, and he was 3 and 4 wide for the last 400 of that. And he's led 4 times in Western Australia, won 3 with the only defeat behind Magnificent Storm when he was at his absolute best. And he led and won a Freo Cup and, had some very fast beginners to his outside that night. So confident enough he holds up, and he's going to give them plenty to chase.
Certainly will give them something to chase, that's for sure, Bomber. And, I think they're probably going to, if he holds up, they're probably just going to go, Himself behind Mighty Ronaldo and so on and so on. No chance anything else crossing from out wide, something like Diego having a crack by?
Did he want to come out a bit quicker than he did last week? So,
Came out in reverse.
I just think, I don't think anything chance its arm, and he begins quite well. Like I said, he led a very fast front line in that Freo Cup, and he's probably not going as well now as he was then, but I still expect him to hold up.
Yep. So the Minstrel in race number 4, horse number 1 for Greg and Skybon, driven by Denny Roberts. coming off a great treble last Friday night, including that Group 1 win. What's the staking plan, Bomber?
Yeah, another 3-unit bet. I'm pretty keen. He does look his race.
The other side of the coin that you guys haven't talked about is if he himself goes behind the leader, he does prevent Mighty Ronaldo getting that spot. But if he stays off, then he also sends everyone else in the moving line back because he's a noted breeze horse, and he can lock up Mighty Ronaldo, who would then be behind Minstrel. So there is an incentive to staying off the pegs with him.
Yes, look.
Yeah, I agree.
Sorry.
That's unsold as well.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, I think either way, it's still going to be extremely hard to get past Minstrel from the 1.
Indeed. Race number 5 on the program. The last race we're going to cover is the Trots WA Oaks at Group 1 level, 25.36. The trip goes at 8:05. Number 1 Seagrass, $41. Good luck to a couple of our loyal listeners, Eddie and Jossie. They're in Seagrass.
Very good. Drawing the 1.
Odds. Number 2 Zephyr, $12. 3 Sweet Vivian, 100 to 1. 4 August Moon, $2.30. Has come in from $6.50 opening price, so there's been a good weight of money there.
Wow.
5 Castella Delacqua, 71. 6 Purest Copper, 126. Same price about Jackie Daniels, Flame Tree and Brulee in gates 7, 8, 9. 100 to 1 about 10 Our Lady Jen. 11 Soho Seraphine nudging out to $2 now. And at 12, Turn the Page, $5 with the Emergency Spirit of an Angel, Sister Cherie, both $41. Who wins the Oaks, Bomber? Well, surely you're not going against your favourite girl.
Gee, I feel dirty.
Bomber.
Sacrilegious type behaviour here, but I've been battling with myself all week going against the favourite filly in Autumn Moon. But the more I look at this race, the more I just think it sets up perfectly for Soho Seraphine. She's had one look at the track. She was ultra impressive, and she's competed against the best of her age group and been doing it in really good form. And I thought the draw, it's much better than it initially looked. She follows the likely leader, I think, and the worst she can land, I think, is 1 by 2. And from there, she's got options. She can go around to the breeze if they want to walk, and if they run along, she can just come with one run. I just like the fact she's been, hardened with that racing over East, and just that one look at the track last week, and she was ultra impressive. I think she'll just win.
And your girlfriend August Moon, where does she finish up in the run, Bomber?
I think she's probably going to have to breeze Morts and out the 1.5 mile trip for the first time. It's going to be a massive task with something like, Soho Seraphine may go around and give her the 1-1, and in that case, she's going to be very hard to toss. But I think if she does have to sit in the breeze and do it the hard way, it's going to be mighty hard for her. So, she'll be thereabouts. She's dominated them generally in the West, but I just think this other filly might just have a bit of X factor about her.
Do you see much pace on during the race?
I'd be surprised. I think Junior will probably want to get the breeze, and he may have a dip off the gate and see if Zafira lets him go, but I think they'd want to hold up. So there may be some early speed, but I don't think there'll be much through the middle part.
Yeah, okay.
I've got a different map. I think Seagrass will be desperate to hold out Zephyr, and 2, if Zephyr did lead, I thought they would hand up to August Moon. So they're well within their rights to hold up. But on the face value of recent form, I think August Moon is a clear level above what Zephyr has been doing. So I thought August Moon would lead and be very hard to beat.
Yeah, well, to be honest, if she wins, I'll be cheering for her as much as I'm on Soho Seraphine. I did have to have a little bit of a bite at the early price. She was a ridiculous opening price.
Did you get it?
I didn't get the top price, but I got around about the $4 average, so that was okay. But yeah, I still think I've spent a lot of time on this race and just looking at back, and these Oaks races, they generally go to those fillies that are pretty hardened, and Soho Seraphine's definitely in that category.
Yeah, certainly promises to be an interesting race, and that first part is going to be very, very important. So, Bomber, Race 5, normally I'd be saying number 4, August Moon, what's the staking plan? But instead, race number 5, horse number 11, Soho Seraphine, Michael Stanley, Train and Drive. What's the staking plan here for the Trots WA Oaks?
Yeah, the 3-unit bet, more, as I said, the more I look, the more confident I become. She's probably just going to dominate these, I think.
Well, we'll find out tomorrow night, and we certainly wish all the owners, drivers and trainers in the race all the very best.
Have you got a multi for us, Bomber?
I didn't really have one. I thought that I was really, really keen Minstrel and Soho Seraphine, so I thought if those didn't want to take the 2-3 unit bets, they could probably just multi those two up, and I'm pretty confident they'll both win.
Race 4, number 1, Minstrel. Race 5, number 11, Soho Seraphine. $3.50. The multi-price about those two.
That'll do us. But, best of luck to all of those in the Oaks, and particularly if Soho Seraphine can't be winning, then hopefully the great filly August Moon can get the job done.
You're sugarcoating it now. He's trying to pander back to win Luke and Gary and everyone on.
Look, I'd love to see Luke Edwards, walk away with the Oaks. It'd be great to see.
Yeah, well, speaking of maiden Group 1 winners, Luke Edwards, he'd be seeking his first Group 1, and hopefully this week Luke can get the money. All right, thanks very much for your time, Bomber. Chat to you next week.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
That's Scott Bomber Hill.
Yes, the great man, coming off a excellent 7-unit win last week. Now, this segment is brought to us, all of us, by Steel Blue Boots, Australia's leading supplier of work boots. Whatever your trade, we've got your boots, Hayden. Don't you worry about that. Built for comfort, made for work. They are a mark of true skill, backed by a 30-day, 100% comfort guarantee. And they are very good sponsors, very good supporters of Beyond Blue and breast cancer, and they donate a certain amount from each blue and pink boot they sell to those different charities. They've raised over $2 million for both of them, so they do an amazing job, and of course they produce Australia's best work boot. And Ross Fitzgerald, one of the founding partners of Steel Blue, of course, is a very big owner at Gloucester Park and supports Gloucester Park very well.
I might need to get some pink ones, because this is no word of a lie. When I go running, I have my pink hat on and my pink breast cancer socks on, so that would just complete the look, I think. I'm not sure. Well, you tell me how good they are, so maybe they would be okay running wear, but traditionally boots aren't.
Yeah, no, traditionally they're not, but these are Steel Blues. And look, I mean, you'll look the part, there's no doubt about that.
I already do, but this would be the cherry on the cake.
Just absolutely top it off. Now, I did see you a couple of weeks ago. You were down watching the greatest football club in the land win their grand final.
I saw the photo and I didn't realise you were there. I thought, I should have bumped into Morse.
I was definitely there. You couldn't have kept me away from that one.
How come you didn't say hello?
Because I was watching the only time I saw you was when they were talking, the players and doing the cup and the whole thing. And when I turned back, you weren't there.
Oh.
But
Scotch missed.
Yeah. But it was a great day.
Yeah, it was. And the only thing I'm upset about is my man Tommy Joyce, 30 touches, kicked a goal, didn't deserve best on ground.
Oh, I thought the best on ground winner was
Milan. He was very good.
He was excellent.
I'm biased because I used to play footy with Tom. I actually used to play footy against Milan, so you can understand why.
Yes, I can see why you're favoured, but it was a great day. After 25 years, it was great to be there and watch the greatest football club in the land win their grand final.
Fairly comfortable viewing. I'll tell you what wasn't, though. Last Friday night, the trot race, it was a stirring finish and a seesawing battle. Tricky Rick gained the ascendancy halfway up the straight, but scooting around, was able to wrest back the momentum right on the post and win.
Ronnie Royale getting out to the outside as a corner, scooting around, leading the way by 1.5 metres. Tricky Rick the outside, and then Ronnie Royale scooting around, joined by Tricky Rick, who's going home better. Tricky Rick put the nose in front of scooting around, who comes back, but Tricky Rick's just in front, scooting around, fights back the inside, scooting around, came back and won it. Scooting around, beat Tricky Rick, Ronnie Royale third.
Talking Trots with Morts and Michael Radley on Tab Radio, Racing and Sport.
But the co-breaker, he's going to break the clock. He's 25 metres in front of Piraju Ad Astra, 30 metres back hot-footed, 15 away Richie Reactor. The co-breaker asked up close home, getting a bit tired, still goes through in 28. Mile rate is going to be... Oh, that's ridiculous. The co-breakers won from in second place, Piraju Ad Astra. In third is hot-footed, and Richie Reactor. The Trots WA mile rate is 1:52.9.
Wow.
Broke the track record
In a trial.
by 1.5 seconds.
That's a pretty fair effort.
It was actually 1.7. That got amended to be 1:53.1. But the existing track record is held by Mr. Shark at 1:54.6.
Wow, it's a big difference. What were the conditions like?
It was a reasonably warm day there, and the track might have been playing fast, but either way...
Even still for a trial, that is phenomenal.
He just ran the whole way, went straight to the front, did not stop. And then, it was just incredible to watch. Even the trial before, it was almost deja vu between he and stablemate Max Better. Max Better did the exact same thing, but he only went 1:55.6. So Ryan Bell and Kyle Symington, they set the track alight down there at Pinjarra yesterday.
They certainly did. That's very, very fast indeed.
He loomed up like he was going to be in the finish last Friday night at Gloucester Park, in the money at big odds, and broke up on the home corner, but no such problems there yesterday. The code breaker passed with flying colours.
Now, you had one bet last week, Hayden?
And crossed and lost.
Crossed and lost. Torravan Amy?
Mm.
So what do we got this week then? We've got Calabaran, we've got Pinjarra, and we've got Gloucester Park. Whereabouts are you going to take us to this week?
I'll go to Calabaran, but first, Glenn.
Yes.
There's a company very close to your heart.
Certainly is, and that company would just happen to be...
Literally close to your heart right now, because you got the Retrovision emblem on your chest.
That I do. Wear it with pride, and we're very proud sponsors of harness racing in WA. Retrovision for all the electrical stuff you love, lowest price guarantee, and RAC members.
Save an additional 5% every day.
At Retrovision. That they do. Big screen TV deals on at the moment. If you want the best in big screen, we have a Samsung QLED, top of the range, 85-inch, normally $6,795. This weekend, $4,995, save $1,800 and a $500 Retrovision gift card. 85-inch, top of the range, doesn't get any better than that. Gloucester Park will look amazing on that big screen TV. So get into your local Retrovision store this weekend.
I'm going to Calabaran. Race 3, number 6, Major Manhattan. First time out for Ryan Bell. Did show good promise. We saw this horse in the Caduceus Club Classic going back to March. He's got a heap of potential. Goes to Calabaran. Should be an easy kill there first up.
Race 3, number 6. Race 3, number 6.
Major Manhattan. And then I'm going to Gloucester Park. No, I'm not. I'm going to, I will be, literally, but Pinjarra on Monday. Another couple that will be short odds, but we'll multi them up and we'll get something because they'll win. Race 2, number 6, Armour Believer, is dropping out of the Golden Slipper, and I thought with luck or a barrier could have played a part in that race, so should be taking this out. Race 2, number 6, and then race 6, number 1, Bellissimo Acquisto. Went to Bunbury last week, went 157.5 from the front, dominated proceedings, gets the pole, should lead, should be winning. Race 6, number 1.
Very confident.
Yep.
That's good. So Calabaran race 3, number 6, and then Pinjarra race 2, number 6, and race 6, number 1 for the all-up.
Sounds good. Parlay them.
Sounds very good. Did you watch the big game last weekend, Hayden?
I did.
Yeah, enjoy it?
I was actually down in Pinjarra on the big screen of Michael and Prue George.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
It was a good place to be after they had the success of Faster Than Dead the night before.
They would have been very, very happy indeed.
Mm.
That was good. And enjoy the big game?
It was a titanic struggle.
It was great, wasn't it?
One of the best grand finals in recent memory. So
it certainly was. It was good to see Pity Collingwood won.
It was good to see the division between Stewie McDonald and Mitchell Miller sitting beside each other because they're great mates. But Stewie is an avid Collingwood supporter and Mitchell a long-time Lions supporter.
Oh, nasty.
Yeah.
Nasty. Oh, it was a close game. Brisbane had their chances, but Collingwood, they were the best team all year, and they won their 3 finals by a collective total of 12 points. 3 finals, 12 points.
Yeah, there's a fine line between success and despair.
Amazing, but no, it was great to watch and topped off a good weekend, that's for sure, after being a good Friday night on the punt. Thank you very much to Bomber, and hopefully tomorrow night's just as good. Do you have anything else for us? Do you have any fables? Anything of no?
No, but I have some tips for you because I'll be at Gloucester Park tomorrow night doing the Sky. So tune in and I'll find you some. I was pretty disappointed with myself last Friday. I beat myself up about it because there were 3 tips I changed
and they all won.
Everything I changed from won. And I know that's our golden rule, don't change your tips, but I did it. And I don't know why I did it. They were just stupid. Like, I can understand if I changed them because of something I've heard in the interviews, but they were just for no real reason, which is pretty disappointing on my behalf. But tomorrow night, I will bounce back. So we'll go back and we'll find that piece and we'll play it on next week's show so you can listen to it. Well, hopefully it'll be music to our ears after. No, you'll be able to listen to that piece where it tells you not to change your mind, because that was where you told me that here on the show. And okay, I promise to you right now, I will not change them tomorrow night. I've already plugged them in. Did the form till 2 a.m. last night. I will not change them from that unless something critical comes out from the interviews. Correct. Confidence levels good? Yeah, I'm pretty confident. And I think there's a bit of value as well. There's a couple that are speculative because I've got a map that's obviously different to the market, but you have to play the overs and then they're tentative bets. You don't have to be having a heap on. So, yeah, I think that's the thing about tipping and punting. There's a big difference between if you tip something and it loses, but you get a great price, then you kind of are happy with yourself and you recognise, hey, I was kind of right, but I've still lost. And it might be the same that you don't tip the winner, but then you back the winner. Do you understand what I mean? Would you like me to be honest? I think that says enough. Yeah. I'll stop rambling. Yeah, that's okay. So you're with August Moon in the Oaks? Yes, and I can't change that now because I've told you. Yeah. No, I think it's going to be very hard to beat. Going to be a very interesting race. Looking forward to seeing that. There is some good racing at Gloucester Park tomorrow night, so looking forward to getting out there. We'll see you out there, Hayden. Yep. Very good. Look forward to it. Covered all the sponsors. Hopefully Michael is better after the week off, and he'll be back with us next Thursday night. Yep. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this edition of Talking Trots. We'll catch you next week. It's bye for now.